Young HellianZzz, Young Hellion. Young HellianZzz, Young Hellion. Young HellianZzz, Young Hellion.
Hey, yo, peace and one. This is Malcolm Young. Um, all praises due to the Most High God and everything that I'm doing as far as working with bees and things of that nature. But there's a purpose in everything. Like I said, I give all praise due to the Most High God, but I'm also following what all of us on the planet have is, there's rules to this whole thing. There's universal, there's cosmic laws, and the universes are within the cosmoses, right? The universal laws, and then the solar system is the solar systems or galaxies are within the universes, right? So now in each galaxy, there's quite right, there's billions of stars within the galaxy itself, just the galaxy, right? But there's billions of galaxies to jump from. If you really put it in mind, there's really a whole bunch of galaxies. You know how big we're in the Milky Way galaxy. We can have telescopes that can go span across the Milky Way galaxy, which is huge. In other words, it can be tracked, right? But in the galaxy, there are various suns and planets. We are in a solar system. That means there are solar laws according to the sun, right? Once you have an understanding that those laws are operating in you as you were born onto the planet, having come from a woman after gestating for 9 months, it makes you a human being, a human, like you're born human, right? In other words, you're born as a being, Hu meaning five. Hu means five. So you got five feelings, you got five tastes, you got the five sights, you got the five sounds. It's a five. We have 5 digits. So that's a rule, right? You're not going to operate your constitution, which is your body, not a piece of paper, that somebody signed 800 years ago. That's not your constitution. What constitutes you? What constitutes you? You know what I'm saying? People who say, "Oh yeah, I follow the Constitution," and then they pull out a little sheet of paper and it has 1 through 24 on it, and that's all you got to do. No, that ain't all you got to do. That's motherfuckers a long time ago who didn't want to follow universal principles, planetary laws, solar laws, cosmic laws. That we're ancient. I'm an ancient man. I'm ancient on the planet. I'm of an ancient bloodline. In other words, there was a time when we weren't there. You know what I'm saying? My bloodline. I'm talking about my bloodline. I ain't talking about, oh yeah, if I look like him, my bloodline is like that too. I'm talking about no. You get your blood done, right? You get your blood done and you get your DNA. Your DNA tells you. They'll tell you, hey, you're of this line. Your father's line is of this. Your mother's line is of that. What does on the planet, there's a planetary law. Matter of fact, this law is universal. All right. In this universe, and it might even go up as far as the cosmos is concerned. I'm not sure, but in this universe, right, that is out there inside of you at the same time, simultaneously operating together with your free will to not listen to the principle, to not adhere to the principle, to not adhere to that particular law. That is God's blessing. That's God's blessing on your life. That's God's grace on your life. When you're here and it's like, I guess 2,000 years ago, if you broke a law, they stone you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they boil you and shit like that. They just have fun. A whole damn neighborhood would just jump in and start stoning your ass because you were an adulterer. You know what I'm saying? You got caught with somebody else's wife, or you got caught with somebody else's husband, some shit like that. They would stone y'all asses right then and there, and they go right on home and eat some damn chicken and dumplings like that ain't shit. You understand what I'm saying? If you understand how we progress psychologically and then how we digressed psychologically, and then we progress again. It's an ebb and flow, and how we are moving, like civilization to civilization on the planet. This is the fifth root race. We're in the fifth root race of the human race. The fifth root race of the human race is the planet was formed. Those as the ancient people who are on the planet now, their forefathers and foremothers watched the planet form. They watched it form. They recorded it, how it was formed. They recorded it. Then they moved it forward and said, hey, here you go. Now you have it in English. Well, that's fine. By the time it got to English from Sanskrit or from Latin, which was spoken all over the planet, by so-called what they call today black people. They were just Moors. Melanated people spoke Latin across the whole planet. We were in charge of the planet, and we fucked up by being mean to each other and mean to others. And so there's a fall there. Each time it was either science, social, economic, planetary rule, or power that caused the whole thing to collapse. That's why they're coming up now. We're in 2024. And if you really pay attention to what's being unearthed now, buildings that are 30 foot tall in Italy are actually 500 feet tall because most of it was buried through a great flood. There was a great flood. If you can go to Italy right now, and they have an excavation right now of a building that was 3 stories high. But now when they really look at it, that shit was over 7 stories, and they still digging down to where the foundation is. But you can see the rooms and all that good stuff. All that shit got buried under like it's almost like 300 feet of mud. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of sediment to cover a building inside of a city. Something got recorded and lost during that time. Nobody, why is nobody? Oh well, this building is like this. It's like yeah, it's like that all over the planet. We've been here 5 times. This is our fifth time trying to rebuild from, and I'm talking about everybody on the planet, any human being. You're part of a process of development called evolution. You're evolving. You yourself are evolving. You yourself are evolving. You understand where I'm coming from? There's a lot to chew here. There's a lot to think about because I just need to get it off my chest as far as like when I study, it's like, wow, okay, I gotta let others know what I've studied here. Because when I study this and I give you reference points, then it's easier to give relevance to how you live in your daily life. How you live in your daily life is how much am I going to adhere to, embody laws, the universal laws, the planetary precepts, things of that nature, right? Those things can't be changed. But if I, through my free will, decide to follow as many of those precepts as I can, and let's say we'll start with a small number like 10, right? We know that around the planet, when you go and visit somebody else's home, like in another country, even on another planet, in this solar system, this solar system is within this galaxy. If you go across the galaxy and sit down at somebody's table, they're going to have a mother and a father. They were born of a mother and a father, one way or the other. So everybody says mama. Everybody says that. Oh, that's universal. Oh, that's universal. Do you understand? So to sit up here and say, man, fuck my daddy. I went through a stage of that. Well, I didn't like neither one of my parents because they weren't there for me when I felt like they needed to be. I was an abused child. I mean, seriously abused, right? That I could speak about it and write a book on the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you have a walk through life and you are unknowing, not blind. I don't even want to say ignorant. All right. Ignorant is like a strong term. To me, somebody that's ignorant is they know the truth and then they still decide right there in your face not to acknowledge the truth. You know what I'm saying? You ate my pancakes, right? And then, I didn't need no pancakes. I was just chewing some gum. You know what I'm saying? You smell the syrup out that motherfucker mouth and everything. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker cake is coming out his nose. He was eating that shit so good. The smell coming out his nose. But he gonna tell you, he or she gonna tell you they didn't eat it. So that's thou shalt not steal. That's like one of the top 10, right? Right? And that was like a top 10. You know, it don't matter where you go on the planet. I don't care if it's the Bhagavad Gita. I don't care if it's the Torah. I don't care if it's the Biblios, Helios, Biblios. I don't care if it's what they use in Russia. All right, hell, they even in Malaysia and Taiwan and Japan, they say honor your mother and father. That's a universal law. So if you're doing that, and I say, man, this is my mama, I took up for my mama, and then you go inside your mama beating you to death and all this type of shit, y'all cussing each other out. Mama's off, I get it, but we still gotta honor the life that she gave us. You see what I'm saying? We still gotta honor the life. You see what I'm saying? That's within us. We honor that life. That is love. That is a form of love to honor it. How you honor it is recorded. It's recorded. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't understand that it's not recorded, you're lost in the sauce. You're really lost in the sauce. I'm gonna say it one more time. If you don't understand that your life, from the time you even came out your mama's womb, from the heartbeat, doom, 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 your life was being recorded. Your mama's life was being recorded. Your father's life was being recorded already. But now it's like a different spiritual scribe comes in and begins to record how they perform as parents. It begins to record what your environment is, what you're growing up in, and then as free will tells you, you know upon yourself, even as a child, what is right and wrong. You see what I'm saying? You can tell as a child what is right and wrong when you're looking up at adults. And sometimes children as early as 3 years old are looking at and they shake their head. They don't even understand why that adult is around them smiling. You see what I'm saying? Because that's an old soul in that child. Meaning we're all evolving once again. We're in the fifth root race. That means I've done this on this planet 5 civilizations over and over and over and over again, helping, assisting, listening to the Most High on how He wants it created here. I am a co-creator. I am a spiritual assassin on the planet, a spiritual assassin. If you take care of the spiritual nature, as far as demonic entities and things of that nature, and the Most High supports your role on the planet, then just your being here, just your presence creates an atmosphere where demonic activities aren't allowed because I'm so close. Because I wish myself to be, I will myself to be closer to the Most High, even if it's just like within not a figment of my imagination. You know what I'm saying? It is a gnosis. It is a gnosis that, oh, I can sit in a room full of motherfuckers that hate me, know that they hate me, hear their thoughts, and still be able to sit there like I don't know shit. You see what I'm saying? I've done this all my life. When you're an abused child, you develop certain talents. That's a talent. That's just something I developed. You see what I'm saying? So it worked well in corporate because I know how to shut the fuck up and listen. And then not only did I know how to shut the fuck up and listen, I knew how to process. I knew how to process all types of information to bring solutions to various companies, you know what I'm saying, and database management, things of that nature. So it's like that's still a science, that's still the math of it, of the universe being applied to economics, which is one of the 12 industries. You see what I'm saying? Economics, right? It's one of the 12 industries. All right. Um, uh, Civil engineering. That's building bridges and all this other stuff. That's a science. That's a science. It's still a science of building. That ain't got nothing to do with shooting nobody. That ain't got nothing to do with taking nobody's life. That's got everything to do with building. Civilizations grow and then they implode upon themselves. But this is the fifth time, I'm gonna keep saying this. If this is the fifth time we've done this on the planet, and you start getting that through your head, you really start chewing on it. And if you look around and you're saying, wow, okay, I've been through this relationships or this relationship or these relationships, but the relationship I had to myself with my, no, the relationship I have with myself. And if I have a relationship with myself, I'm also paying attention to my breath, which is given by the Most High God. That breath is given. That means I'm here on grace. That means, oh, wow, I can't speak it anymore. And the Most High said, okay, fine, come on back. And that's it. That's nothing else. There's nothing else for the being in this temple. There's nothing else. It moves on. We move on. That's part of the evolution. In other words, you keep cutting yourself out of your own evolution, because we're failing to involve ourselves properly. When I say involve, what are you involving in? Are you involving yourself in another man's idea? Are you involving yourself on, oh, okay, I need to pay attention to where I reside, where do I live? I'm a spirit that's in this body. In other words, the spirit can be moved out of the body will sit there. It'll just sit there. It don't mean nothing. Don't matter if it's large or small, cute or ugly. It don't matter. It's just a body. It's just like a log. And in some countries they just pick that motherfucker. They see it as a log. They just throw it up on the fire. So what is it that you're giving priority to? You see what I'm saying? Um, and this is just, me giving myself a chance to just kind of get things off my chest. But, when it boils down to it, it's just a matter of knowing that, the work you do will speak for you. The work you do will speak for you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big thing when you realize that you set out as a student. A lot of people, I use this because we're all students, right? But when you recognize that the work you do will speak for you, then that means if gift, talent, ability, and or practice and stumbling in the gift, talent, and ability are both acceptable, because the work will show itself differently each time you perform the practice. So it doesn't matter if I practice. I love to cuss. I didn't say I like cursing people. I don't curse anyone. I like to cuss. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I like them motherfucking words. You know what I'm saying? I like them. You see what I'm saying? That's how I make sure a motherfucker know I don't really want them around me. And that's just kind of like, all right, that's ego. And all right, where I come from, Lower Aberdeen Gardens, you know what I'm saying? Hampton, Virginia, Newport News, Phoebus, you know what I'm saying? Give it all shouts out to Yorktown, you know what I'm saying? All right, so Granger Court, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, and it's just a matter of what coming out of that, where you know your people, but when somebody do you dirty, we don't have no problem with tell your motherfucking ass, you stupid, you doing some dirty ass shit, get the fuck on. We don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about Lower Aberdeen Gardens, Hampton, Newport News. All right, you understand what I'm saying? Well, hey, my people ain't got a problem with that. My people. Same thing in East Durham County. You know what I'm saying? My people out of there. My people out of there, out of Carolina, East Durham County. Are you crazy? You see what I'm saying? Don't nobody be taking no shit on there. You stole that motherfucker's cookies. You know what I'm saying? That's that type of shit. You gonna get your ass kicked from grade school on. If you stole, you got your ass kicked. Here we go back to the top 10. The Most High said don't steal. But when you stole as a kid, what happened? Vengeance was served. You know what I'm saying? Just because you go to college or you out of high school now or something like that, and you go and steal, or I learned how to steal without getting caught. Bullshit. Everything is recorded. Then what you do is you end up running through life, running hard down on 10 laws, hard down on them, like you don't care about them. What happens to the body is the body begins to register that the wholeness, spirit, body, I'm sorry, spirit, mind, body, divine creed, nationality. You see what I'm saying? Those are five things that you have to hold on to. You have to hold on to these things as you move on the planet. You have five fingers. Those are the five rules. It don't matter. It don't matter if it don't matter if you go to Yale. It don't matter if you go to University of Taiwan. It don't matter if you know 12 languages. You know what I'm saying? You can know everything about this planet as far as like, oh yeah, I read that book and I read that book and not apply none of it to your life. You see what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with how you start a fire for yourself. It's got nothing to do with how you fish. Catch the fish, gut the fish, at least you can eat that day. Like really, really. Like really, really. Work you do will speak for you. I think that's what I'll speak on next. I really appreciate the time that I have with myself, making these little videos and whatnot. I use the audio. So just remember that the work you do will speak for you. I'll continue to speak more on it, kind of fine tune, what I really want to say and whatnot. And I go back and listen to myself later on. So what, Malcolm, yo.